this article, we examine these core themes from the perspectives of female science communicators. Our work in this area started from the standpoint that research and anecdote in science communication often suggests that it's a field where women feel at home. There can be proportionally higher numbers of women science communicators and students on science communication training programs. And in the article, we discuss studies which have shown that many more women tend to participate in outreach. We also talk about the ways that women tend to be involved in role modelling to increase the numbers of girls and young women, both entering and remaining in science. So why is this important? The participation of women and increased gender diversity in science communication may suggest benefits in regards to equity, diversity, inclusion, and representation. But it also raises questions, including whether the sometimes collective, trustworthy, and mediating nature of communication roles may subtly and implicitly come to be perceived or performed as women's work. We also see examples in the literature of gender-based harassment, as well as other gender-based perceptions and behaviours that are less than ideal. So we were keen to further explore these issues using data gathered from a survey of 459 science communicators who were based in the countries of Italy, the Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Serbia, Sweden, and the UK. This survey work was conducted as part of a European-funded project called Rethink. Before I say more about what we found out, I just want to say a quick but very important point about language. We asked our survey respondents, are you, with the option for them to select male, female, non-binary, other, where they could self-identify as they chose to, or prefer not to say in the questionnaire options. And this drew on advice from organisations at the time that the survey was distributed back in 2019, and means we present our results using the categories male and female. And this was because this was how we posed the question and the way that our respondents categorised themselves. But with the benefit of hindsight, it may have been beneficial to ask two questions, one on sex and one on gender, or one on gender alone, though by including the option to self-identify and also recognising that sex can be changed, we hoped that our question met participants' needs. So our questionnaire was distributed, as I said, in 2019 via mailing lists, networks, associations, various societies of professions such as journalists, writers, public events organisers, and more. So 459 people responded and completed the survey in full. Over half reported that they were female at 59%, and 40%, or 182 people within our sample, said that they were male. One respondent selected non-binary, 4 respondents selected prefer not to say, and no respondents in our survey selected the category of other or decided to self-define their gender. This higher response rate from females occurred for all of the countries that we surveyed except Poland, where females accounted for 38% of the respondents in that country. So though we see females and males across all role categories, it was of interest to us that males tended to be more likely to be university lecturers or professors, bloggers, YouTubers, or social media influencers amongst our survey respondents, while female respondents were more frequently than men working in roles such as press officers or communication officers. And these were roles which could be perceived to align more with some of these stereotypical representations of women as communal, mediating, or being in a role which assists predominantly others to communicate. The aims of communication did not greatly differ, though male respondents appeared more preoccupied by influencing their audience's views on the topic, as well as countering misinformation, entertaining and influencing. And females were often more interested in aspects such as creating conversations and reaching underserved audiences. The differences in barriers to engage in further communication activities were also small, though males were slightly more likely to report a lack of recognition, including financial recognition, as the disincentive, and females reported on organisational issues such as insufficient support from a manager, which may suggest some variation in agency. We also noticed there was little difference in terms of the role and likelihood of participating in training. More females recorded that they had or were completing a degree in journalism, media or science communication though, and this suggested a desire for a professional qualification in the area. There are a number of limitations in our work, including that our sampling approach may have influence some of the results which I've mentioned today, we were also not able to shed light on the experiences of those with diverse gender identities. So to sum up, it can perhaps be seen as positive that science communication appears to be highly appealing to women, and that we found very few apparent variations in the experiences of females and males in the data that we gathered, suggesting that science communication is not only a space for what might be perceived as soft or feminised skills. However, there also appears to be much more to explore around aspects such as pay, perceptions of productivity, career progression, harassment, and also a need, as I said, for much more nuanced survey work over a greater range of countries and also intersectional identities.